Alright, g'day guys, welcome back. This is the first video I've done since moving. I apologise if the sound quality and even the video quality is a little bit below my standard quality that I usually produce. Things are still being worked out and unpacked and everything like that, so I'm kind of like in an empty room at the moment recording. But today we are dialing it back a little bit and we are running the Giant Ape Power team / Dragon Ball Heroes team. Led by the Limit Breaker Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta. This is just a fun run, basically. I kind of... The birth mode for Legendary Goku event is now over at the time of recording. I did this gameplay a couple of days ago. At the time of recording, we're about 2 hours away from Super 17 dropping, just to give you an indication of where we're at. I did have a question in my Discord as like a Q&A kind of thing that I opened up to people during this kind of dead period of Dokkan. And one of the questions, well, two of the questions were already answered in a previous video. That was my last video that I posted. Go check them out if you want to see how I started Dokkan, how I got into making a channel, and a little bit of background into my kind of, I guess, story as Dokkan accounts go, where like what time I came into the game, how many accounts I've had, etc. So that's on my last video. This one is touching on the question posted in the Discord by Urban Pie, I believe it was. I just want to make sure that I get that name right really quickly. Where are we in general? Where is it? Yes. Urban Pie asked, why did you decide on Super Saiyan 4 as the mascot for the channel? Link to the Discord is in the description below, by the way, if you want to join and contribute to any other Q&As in the future. The reason Super Saiyan 4 is the mascot to the channel, obviously, as you can see on the right hand side there, I kind of had an artist do an original character as my kind of avatar, I guess. And the reason he is Super Saiyan 4 and the reason we are running the Giant Ape Power team right now is obviously in theme to answer the question. But basically, that's my favourite form. I really like it. Ever since I was a kid and GT debuted, it was the first form since the original Super Saiyan that just made sense to me in my head. Not that the others didn't. I don't want to sort of... I'm not here to rag on any of the other forms. I have my love for them in different levels as well. But from a point of view of like... I don't know, just... It didn't necessarily have foreshadowing, I guess. It just made sense when they were like, okay, Goku's turning into a great ape, and then he's learning to control that power, and then he kind of harnesses that, and there's a form that's born from it. It just made a lot of sense in my head, and I've loved it ever since. I know some people don't agree with that so much, and that's fine. I'm not here to sort of convince anyone either way. I'm more or less just here to answer my question in regards to how I view things. And if you disagree, by all means let me know below, and I'd like to have a constructive chat about it. I'm not here to argue with anyone. If you think one way and I think differently, that's fine. Everyone's different, but so that's why I went with that. And I mean, if I was to have any criticisms over the form, I guess they're somewhat addressed in the way I designed my original character on the right hand side there. He's basically a representation of what I wish I could create in the Xenoverse series, where you can create your own character. The pants, obviously, there. I mean, maybe not obviously. They're actually Bojack's pants from that game. When I was playing that game, I ended up unlocking that piece of clothing. And aside from the fact that you can't change the color, as I have with my original character there, or my avatar, I'm going to call it, I really liked the design of the pants. It was very Goku, you know, in their baggier pants, but they had a bit of uniqueness, especially when they were worn by a Saiyan. So that's why I ended up going with that design. But yeah, the things that I wish I could change about Super Saiyan 4 are represented there, in that I wish they had the brown fur of a great ape, you know, just kind of shrinking it down in that sense. The red hair isn't necessarily something I'm super jazzed on anyway. I'd probably go with black hair if I was being honest, but peek behind the curtain, in real life I am a redhead, so I kind of went with that anyway, and it's more aligned with the Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta as well. That's why I had the avatar look that way. But I'd prefer that, I would have loved if they did a Super Saiyan 5, I guess, basically an original Super Saiyan, and when I say original I mean the Super Saiyan 1 version of Super Saiyan 4 where everything goes gold, you know what I mean, or yellow, whatever you want to call it. But basically a golden grade 8 version of Super Saiyan 4. I think that would have been a really cool progression to the form and to the series, but alas, we didn't quite get that. But yeah, honestly, I mean, obviously I've made a few extra tweaks to my avatar there. Like, I gave him the Saiyan boots and gloves with the Pataras to kind of emanate Vegito, who is I really liked Vegito. Again, another thing that came up in the series when watching it as a kid that I think just made all the sense in the world. Like, I didn't need to ask why one or two things happened. I just looked at it and I was like, yeah, that's exactly what I imagined in my head before seeing it, and then it kind of came to life, all within the same kind of time frame. I went with green Pataras to kind of match the pants in the avatar there, and that's actually Super Saiyan 4 Gohan's haircut. The only thing that's truly unique is that in the pants and the boots, I've actually given him like that silver accent, and I've given him the custom kind of like band that's around the bottom of I guess above the ankle, and then around the wrist. I thought that was just something different and unique. So that's why I went with that. But yeah, the Super Saiyan 4, to answer Urban Pie's question kind of in a nutshell, that's why. It's just my favorite form. Yeah, I really like it. I've got a love for GT more than what most people do anyway, and not to try and toot its horn, but I think people maybe don't give it enough credit, or they're not as open-minded to giving it the credit that it possibly deserves for being as creative as it really was, whilst also being a very tribute-heavy show to the two series that came before it in the original Dragon Ball and Z, whatever you want to call it. It's Dragon Ball Z to me, but I say Z in any other matters. But so yeah, obviously that's why we're running the Giant Ape Power in this video. I was gonna run a dual LR Super Saiyan 4 setup, basically a GT Heroes and Fused Fighters. But given it's a Super Saiyan 4 themed discussion, I guess, I wanted to go Giant Ape Power, and I really like the Limit Breakers from the Dragon Ball Heroes celebration last November. Obviously that means that the guy you see on screen here, the 4th year Super Saiyan 4 Goku and the 7th year Goku and Vegeta are not on a 200% lead, nor is the GT Vegeta. Now the reason I've built this team in this way is that basically all three Vegetas, the two Limit Breakers and the GT one you see on screen here, they are all floating. The reason they float is that at least the Limit Breaker Vegetas, they need a Goku on rotation to get their support. The Limit Breaker Vegetas also need either Giant Ape Power to be the full rotation, or Dragon Ball Heroes to be the full rotation that they're on to get that additional super attack. So on one rotation, we're going to have the 4th year Goku and the 7th year Goku and Vegeta, who link incredibly well. That'll fulfill the Giant Ape Power requirement of a Limit Breaker Vegeta, who will float around and support the rotation due to the 4th year Goku activating that at all times, even when we fuse with the 7th year LRs. And then on the other rotation, we're going to have the Zeno Goku supporting the Limit Breaker Goku. Obviously that means Goku's going to be on that rotation, and they're both Dragon Ball Heroes. So Limit Breaker Vegeta will get his passive active at all times. Now we're going to keep going with Goku and Vegeta here. Now I haven't fused with them yet, obviously. And the reason being, and the reason I showed that passive, is they have that extra bit of their passive that expires after 7 turns, which is an extra key per sphere and 77 attack and defense. This is the last turn that it will be active for them, so I wanted to kind of stack them as many times as I possibly could prior to fusing them, and then kind of have a little bit of fun with that Gogeta, essentially it's debatable, but essentially at his strongest, I guess, if you're stacking him up as many times as possible prior to activating the fusion. And obviously having GT Vegeta on the team is going to create rainbow orbs, which will just make life that little bit smoother, especially for the LR 7th year fusions that are going off right here. 10 mil and then 7, which is crazy. I hope they do. I haven't been counting their super attacks, but will we get a third here? No, we don't. I think I've seen a lot of additional normals from them. So, I mean, in an ideal world, we'd get the triple super every turn and see how we go, but unfortunately that wasn't possible. And the other rotation of the Zeno and Limit Breaker Goku, they won't really need ki at all, so it's going to be a little bit easier for us, plus the Rainbow Orb Changer, to set up ki for the LR rotation that they oppose. That's done a little bit of damage. Okay, that's fair enough. We didn't get the first of it. Okay, so how are we looking? 580k defense. This Zeno Goku stacks so quickly. So does the Vegeta, by the way. I very easily could have used the Vegeta, but I thought that would have been maybe a little bit too much int going on. I mean, we've got enough physical going on as well, but I wanted the Goku to be the showcase unit here. On this particular rotation, GT Vegeta is going to be a little bit nerfed because neither of the allies are GT heroes, obviously, on this specific rotation. So his attack will look a little bit nerfed from what it otherwise would be on the other rotation where both allies are GT heroes. So this is where we will fuse. So we'll get 3 phases basically with Gogeta. So as you can see, he's only getting that 1 extra ki per sphere, whereas he would usually get 3 if his extra passive was active. Goku's 5-head coming up here. I really wish they'd fix that. They won't. They won't ever. I don't know if we'll ever see like a banner LR like get their animations fixed like we saw. What was it? Margin Vegeta and Super Saiyan 2 Gohan both got animations fixed. Since then we haven't seen any, so I'm not sure we'll ever get any again. I don't know if that's gonna help us. Let's see how much damage. Now Goku might take a bit of damage because I've got the multipliers I have on for burst mode here, by the way. All the attack and all the defense. This burst mode was a little bit average, to be honest with you. 450k defense for Gogeta there. Isn't the best, and Goku, okay. So yeah, this burst mode really didn't dial the difficulty up as much as I'd kind of hoped. In both the attack and the defense, both were quite, they relaxed the difficulty multipliers quite a bit. Considering this event, I really wanted this to be kind of a return to form for flogging this event, but unfortunately it didn't quite live up to my expectations. That's okay. Maybe they thought that going too hard might make it less accessible to some players without such established boxes or teams to complete it with, especially considering Target Goku. Considering it's a shared burst mode, Global were at quite a disadvantage without having Super 17, whose release is literally less than 2 hours away on Global, and the burst mode's already gone away. So for Target Goku mission, if you don't have Cooler, who hasn't, he hasn't even returned for the anniversary, which he has for JP. So yeah, Global were kind of at a disadvantage for that mission. The other one was Worthy Rivals, which, in fairness, Global were pretty on par for that one, given that we already have Piccolo's, physical Piccolo's EZA, and we've also had the return of LR Piccolo, so that's a massive kind of assistance there. I think I actually used that Zeno Vegeta, the counterpart to this Super Saiyan Vegeta, in that Worthy Rivals run. I did a run, I didn't put them up on the channel, I kind of just like to play. We've got Limit Breaker Goku's passive active. 7 hits it is he needs to get that extra 40%, and he runs around with 10 million attack stats, which is very healthy. I'm not sure how this Vegeta is going. He needs 4 super attacks to activate it. He just did 5.962, so I imagine this might be close to his last one before activating it, if he hasn't already. I haven't been watching, or not paying enough attention, I should say. I have been watching, but obviously rambling as well. Oh, here we go. 4-5 with, 3 Rainbow Orbs is going to be 21% damage reduction. Not that I think the damage reduction will actually make too much of a difference in this scenario, but I was hoping to keep some orbs for Vegeta there, so I might just get them. He's still going to do an Ultra Super, and then 5 orbs is better than any less, I guess, for the Zeno Vegeta. Now, a big thing worth mentioning as well, 10.2. I'm keen to see what happens when he gets that 40% support on with the with one of the Limit Breaker Vegetos. Sorry, Vegeta. I keep saying Vegeto for some reason. 4 mil normal, and that's about it. Yeah, so a small tweak that the game made, which will have a relatively large impact, I imagine, is that in stages like this, where the final phase, so the next phase versus the UI Goku, previously, because he disables dodge, the Super Saiyan 4s were unable to counter super attacks from UI Goku or any other stage that disables dodge. So think any of the other Fighting Legend events, the GT final phase, the Vegeta final phase, Red Zone Broly, the entire fight disables dodge. So now, previously you couldn't counter any super attacks in those events. Now you can, so I'm hoping that we get to see that in this run here. Unfortunately, we don't have any units that foresee super attacks, so it might make it a little bit hard to kind of get that over the line. But I don't know. So we mustn't have had the passive active Vegeta there. 5-9. If this jumps, it does. Okay, this is his 5th super attack. So the last one was the 4th. That's why it jumped so highly from 5-6 to 7-4. I'd like to see him take a super attack now, but he didn't. Right, alright, this will be interesting. I might, do that. That'll bring down the AGL orbs, hopefully enough to... Yeah, it will, cool. Only 14% damage reduction, 7% per rainbow orb. So I'm curious, all attack links are active for both the LRs here. Except for Goku, who Prepared for Battle does give attack, but Shocking Speed does not for the Gogeta there. 6 mil on a 17 key super, or 12 key with max key buffs. That's pretty good still, for attack at least. I mean, they really did these guys dirty by easy-aing them as early as they did, not really. Yeah, look, 100, what's that, 11.7. Hopefully we get to see like the triple super, just to see, with a counter, to see what the counter can really do. Oh, he just did a single. Okay, that's fine. That's one of the main differences that people like to call out between Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta from the 7th year with in comparison to the Tech LR Super Saiyan Blue Goku and Vegeta from the 7th year, the kind of counterpart transformation, is that they get the guaranteed additional on 18 key. But I mean, I think it does even itself out very well, but I understand where they're coming from with that. Especially because the additional is not guaranteed on Goku. So we'll do that. I want to try and leave some key if possible, but sometimes it's best to just get a whole chunk of it like this, and then it'll bring enough down for next time. I think we still should get enough key from those physical orbs for Gogeta next turn anyway to hit 24 key. I honestly don't care about the damage reduction too much. I don't think he's going to die, and ideally I'd like... Jesus, this guy's done enough additionals. He's probably at like, what, 1 million defense by now? That's how quickly units stack. And during my... a little bit of a spoiler, I guess. I've got a couple of custom units on the way, by the way. During my testing for that, it's clear how much more powerful stacking defense is to stacking attack. It's just insane, because stacking attack only increases the super attack modifier, not your actual attack stat, whereas stacking defense goes straight into the defense stat, because there's no like defense super attack modifier kind of thing. Alright. Hopefully we get super attack straight up so we can do a counter and just see what it is raw without any super attack raises, because he gets 100% attack and defense on 18 key. Do it. No good. Alright. So yeah, 11.7 again. So the next rotation will be down to that 10 because GT Vegeta will be floating about. Is this going to kill? No, it's not. And the additional? Yeah, okay, so 11.7 and 8.3. So that's basically a neat 20 when he gets his additional super, with the possibility of a hidden potential one to come, which would probably be pushing 9. I don't know if it would get to 9 though, given that he only greatly raises on his 12 key. Yeah, look, we're at 1 million defense. Holy shit. So what is that? I reckon if I get, yeah, like that, that'll drop and, oh, okay, it didn't quite drop how I wanted. I'll just, yeah, because that's, yeah, that should be enough. Alright, see how we go. We'll take absolutely no damage here. This is just impossible for it to hurt us. I mean, I'd be curious to see what kind of damage, like how much. I don't even think, even if it was like the legendary Vegeta event, he was doing 6 mil as well. Legendary Vegeta event where like the final phase greatly lowers your defense. I still don't think he would have hurt us at all, even with any of the normals after. 10.2, and we're dodging. Unless we do another one, which is up at 11. See, he gets going. These guys look good when you really tailor to them. I mean, their defense leaves a little bit to be desired, with only 30% damage reduction for the Goku and none for the Vegeta. But theoretically, he's pumping out, you know, upwards of, well, he's got a guaranteed additional, so he's doing 15 mil there, raising his defense twice, just by 30%, I believe it is, with the potential for a third one as well. But we didn't get to see that, unfortunately. So, okay. So if I do that, yep, it's fine. That'll give Goku his 24 key. Vegeta will get his 24 key as well. 5, yeah, that'll do. Alright, cool. So hopefully we get to see a counter, just to prove that it is possible, because previously it was impossible for these units to counter any supers in this phase of the fight. There was a recent update where they changed that. I think it was to be in line. It was to help out. Well, not help out, but to kind of consolidate the difference with the Tech World Tournament Goku's counter, which is like a revival attack. Oh, we did. Oh yes, 4. Now, oh, we dodged it. God damn it. So keep in mind as well that 4 million attack stat that you saw is actually a lie in game. It's actually 12. There is a 3 times multiplier on all counters. That includes counters of normals that you see on Vegito units, and it includes all super attack counters as well. So that was a 12 million counter. His counters, as long as he's super attacking first, his most powerful attack. I'd be curious to see what that would have been if he'd have been in slot 1 and countered a super before attacking. Probably would have been maybe down at 2.4. I'm just doing rough maths and it's probably way off. That's right. Oh, we're getting a few dodges from the enemy here, which is annoying. You kind of forget how much trouble this UI Goku could have given us in the past. Geez, we're doing additionals more with Goku. How much? Oh, 23, that makes sense. And the crits as well. Hopefully Vegeta doesn't finish off here and we can use the active skill next turn. Do a dodge? No dodge. Right when we probably wanted it, to be honest. Dodge this one. Nope. Don't kill. Okay, cool. We're good. Don't triple. He would have tripled then too. What's he got? That's my one, so he's only got 5 additional, so it's not necessarily super likely. How much damage will this take? This is his standard kind of turn, I guess, with his passive fully built, and he tanks it perfectly. No support. Oh, support, he's getting, I think it's what, 40% defense from Goku there. Alright. So, this will end it off. We'll let this play out.
I've had enough. It's time to unleash my most devastating attack. I'll finish you off with this. Ultra Big Bang.
Easy done. I love that active skill. I love that unit in general. I mean, that's why I did it. That was to answer your question, Urban Pie, and to anyone else watching as well. If you have any other questions for me, leave them below. I'm more than happy to do videos if I like the question and I think there's enough, if there's a team to build around it and to have a good chat about it. Otherwise, join me on Discord, Twitter, Instagram, or support me on Ko-Fi. Stay tuned for any of my supporters. There are new cards and new content coming very soon. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye now.